action right from the press box here at Vivid.
Virtue Field.
It's Virtue Field,
not
Vivid. It's Vivid Coffee Field at Virtue Park, whatever we're calling it right now. We're pretty coming off pretty high after the match against Seaboats United, and a big 4-0 defeat for the boys from New Hampshire. So I got Tom here. Tom is our PA announcer extraordinaire. We're going to be doing these for most or all of our home games. So Tom, how you doing, man?
I'm pretty great. Overjoyed at seeing such a performance. It felt like we've never beaten them, but I think we've never beaten them at home. So year after year we've seen Seacoast beat us, and so this one has been a long time coming, and so I am thrilled to bits. We finally managed to get one over on them, and also do it in an emphatic fashion.
It's pretty amazing to see, like the weather that's happening right now, and the entire time that we're here. It's basically June. We're looking at 50 degree weather, rain. I mean, it's typical New England, Vermont weather. It was a great showing from the fans. It was a great showing from the Green Mountain Boys. It was Labor Night. I'm wearing my Proud Union member shirt. Tom's got his on. It was a great night. We supported migrant justice. Lots of great stuff happening here today. And we're gonna get to the action on the field in a second. But I just wanted to mention all that stuff because it is very important. Let's get to the action on the field because straight from the kickoff, it seemed like Vermont had a plan coming out. Press high, press hard with not just your forward players, with your midfielders, and that showed through most of the game, through 70 minutes of the game with our captain Zach Senge. I think he was just pretty amazing on the press. Musa was amazing. Rui was amazing. What did you see out there, Tom? Like tactically, that like you maybe didn't expect?
I don't know about not expecting because I feel like we've seen this in other games so far this season, but we've not played anyone real. This is our first home game at Virtue Field, so we've not really played anyone with like real class yet. I don't mean to be mean to Providence or anything, but we destroyed them 9-0, and I don't mean to be harsh to Laval, who were actually a very good side, but it wasn't like a.
We got to get the door here, but yeah, it's true. It's true what Tom is saying. Like those were tune-up games. We talked about it on Thursday.
And so it's tactics we saw in those games as well, which is this high press, and we've got like Bakoto, who's an absolute dog in midfield. It's just going to be challenging for every single ball. You've got Amoni Thomas and Luca Constabile, who are wing backs really more than they are left and right backs, and the front four are also pressing. So it is this real high press, which results in a lot of turnovers. And I gotta say, like Amoni Thomas for really that.
Yeah,
he is just him, Bakoto, and then Julian Labard-Luz just conducting that midfield once we win it back. It's so dangerous because we will press so high and then boom, we'll have the ball and boom, we'll be hitting on the break.
That press really resulted in actually quite a few offside calls. But I mean, it just highlights really the attacking presence of these players, especially in the midfield when you have a lot of players who are typically defensively minded players. But for my money, it was Zach Senge today. I talked about him on Thursday. It was Laborde-Luz who was just imperious in the midfield. Like there weren't balls that were getting through.
He's got such quick feet as well.
Yeah,
he's so calm under pressure. You stick 2-3 men on him, and he will dance around you, and he will stick a ball out to Amoni Thomas or out to a Jagby, and then boom, someone's getting down the wings, and it is just, I think very deserved Dribble man of the match today.
Right.
Me and Matt Wolf, who set up in the press box, were discussing on the 80th minute who gets this man of the match, because we've got 4 different goal scorers. And yet it went again going to a player that didn't set up or score a goal, and that's because he was just such in charge of this game. He just dominated that middle of the field.
I've always talked about how I love like watching a good midfielder. Like when I first started watching the game, it was Moussa Dembele for me. Like
Yeah.
those type of players who just won't have the ball taken from them, who command the midfield, who direct the game, right? Like they're conductors in a symphony, right? And you have your upfront players who make all the sexy runs, and they do the scoring, and they're the guys on the score sheet, but like the guys putting in the work are the guys in the midfield, the guys in the back.
And I think those two in the middle today, Joseph Picoto and Julian Lourdes, who didn't get substituted for the entirety of the game, and I think why is because Picoto is that attack dog who's going to be doing that high press, and Julian Lourdes is the moment that ball is free is going to be sending this ball left and right down the field, and that combination of high intensity and then not really skillful like maestro conduction, it not just took Seacoast United apart, who are a very competent team. They basically didn't give him a sniff at all of going forward as well. It's not,
right.
How many shots did Seacoast have on target today? 2
on target, but probably 2. I mean, it's kind of hard. I now see your vantage point, looking at this from the press box, from where I am down on the rails, and it's really a different vantage point. You see the game differently from 2 different positions on the field, but yeah, maybe 2 shots on goal. There wasn't a lot for Nick to do back there, right?
Although when he did get called up, there was a shot towards the end too, actually. One where Seacoast already down 4-0, looking to do something, anything. Shot from distance, tipped over the bar, which I thought was going over, and it actually was a really good save that I couldn't see by Herseg. And then again, down close to his left,
right,
that he saved towards the end of the game as well. So when he did need to show up, he was there. I think in the first half, at the very end of the first half, which when Seacoast goal would have really made an impact, because it would have gone in at half-time at 2-1.
Right.
It was a header from a corner kick that he tipped over the bar as well. So when Herseg didn't have to do much, but when he was needed, he was there.
And he's so great. Like he's and we talked about this on Thursday with Sam Minton. We have a keeper in Nick Herseg who is great at he's a ball stopping, a shot stopper, whereas maybe Jude is more adept at like playing the ball out with his feet, playing out from the back, and he's better at distribution and that kind of stuff. But I think this game, like I said on Thursday, like called out for Nick being a shot stopper, and knowing the way that Seaboats plays is that like they're gonna counter on you, and they're gonna counter fast. They have players like Dos Santos who are super quick, who are good on the ball, and can shoot from distance or can tap in from the far post if needed. But I think without somebody like Teg Healy here today, Dos Santos was just kind of muted. He needs to play off of Teg in order to make the system work. I don't know where Teg was today. I don't know if he's injured, if he just didn't make the trip, if he had something else going on. But like, that's a guy who kind of stirs the drink for that team.
Yeah, and in a way, a bit of a shame, because you want to be able to beat the best Seacoast there is to show who we are. But you can only beat the team that's put in front of you, and the team that was put in front of us was still a very good team that we beat 4-0.
Sure.
I may have got. I think he got a knock or something, which is why he didn't come and travel today. Obviously, that was a big loss for them.
Right.
Things may have ended up a bit differently, but in all honesty, I think we were so on it today. Those boys knew exactly what all of this meant to the fans, to the wider Vermont Green, audience, and I think these guys are just up for it today in a way that we've not seen before with another Vermont Green team.
Yeah, Vermont Green. Being a USL 2 team, we see a lot of turnover, right?
Yeah.
We see a lot of turnover. You never know what to expect from a team that brings back a few guys every single year, but then you have guys like we're early in the season right now, right? Because we have 4 games in right now. There are players who have never played together before. We saw the first 2 matches against the Boston teams, and who have been handily beaten, especially Boston City. We only scored 2 goals. There was a lot of stuff like that. There were questions in the final third. Are we going to be able to put goals past a real threat in this league? And this team that we play today has been absolutely the class of the league for the past few years, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're national champions. These guys showed today that they're getting it.
Yeah, they really did. I mean, I think we saw a different class of what we have seen in previous years. First year, Vermont Green, we were completely new outfit. No one really knew what to expect, and I think we put probably above our weight that year. Season 2, we came out swinging with some really great players that we played in the previous season, and we had new players coming in. I think we really got unlucky that season.
Right.
Season 3, I think we ended up having a bit of a dip. In all honesty, there was probably a little bit of deadwood that we maybe should have turned over and kept around for. Because they played previously for us, and a lot of it was really the Bazzini show last year. But
Yeah.
the rest of the team really wasn't at that same level. And then this year, massive turnover. I think the only 2 players that you recognise from this team sheet is Zach Zenge and Musa Ndiaye, and of course you've got Mohamed Ibrahim on the bench. I didn't come on today, but otherwise it's basically in a new team, and they're a class above. And they are. Another thing is they're clicking better than previous Vermont Green teams as well. It seems like the passes are slicker. They go to feet more. They are more knowledgeable of who's going to be around them and what to do in sticky situations. You've got a lot more players that are good in sticky situations as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just Labordeluz and Bakoto, but Thomas, absolutely phenomenal player, 18 years old, and he can get himself out of anything. You got Rui Aoki, where's his centre back come from? He is incredible.
His recovery speed is outrageous. Like I haven't seen on Thursday on the pod I talked about his recovery speed and how he is similar in style and play as like a Reed Fisher. I think he he might be like as fast or faster than Reed Fisher. He's fearless. It seems fearless to put in a tackle in the box.
He's always cold. Some of the tackles he does put in danger positions are just most defenders wouldn't go for that, which would be too risky.
Right, yeah.
He just doesn't have that kind of, as you said, that kind of fear. On top of that, he's also a goal threat. At the end of the game there, he almost scored a header from distance.
Yeah.
Scored against, 9-0 against Providence, but still scored there. He is there in the box and can also be that goal threat as well. Every single player on this pitch today really is a goal threat.
And we can, let's talk about Eskil Yerda.
Yeah.
This guy, we knew that like he's played a lot lately. Like he needed a rest. Some of the folks in the Green Mountain Boys section were asking why he wasn't starting. He needed a rest. He's played all 4 games. He's played most of the game, all 4 games. He needed a rest. He got out there today. He still contributed. All of the guys that came on have been playing a lot. I think this year, especially this season, we have more players that can come in and rotate and can be like for like rotations, and can contribute 15 to 20 minutes a game, or they can start.
Yeah. I mean, we had the first 2 substitutes were Tyler Tribnall for Tatavin, who scored the second goal. Great goal,
Correct.
by the way. Absolute,
Yeah.
absolute peak. From Dovlo, who we've not talked about yet, we really should, because he also had a fantastic game.
Yeah.
But Tyler Criminal and Arno Tatavin, not dissimilar players.
Right.
Then, Zach Zenga, I think, is more of that attacking threat, which I think that's why he started today, over Yada, who's just a physical beast of a man. I mean, the guy is massive.
Big dude.
And then Ajagby came off for Njike, who again, quick legs down the left-hand side. So yeah, at least Criminal and Njike very much like replacements. But you've also got things like Mohamed Ibrahim, who can slot into another couple of places as well, either as wing back or in the central midfield. That I think there's more of this kind of like, you can, if someone is feeling leggy, you can replace someone with an equal ability, and it's not going to negatively affect the side, maybe in a way that it did in previous seasons.
I'm almost at a loss for words at what I saw today out there. Like the footwork was so beautiful in this rain. The from every single player out there. The Ajagby's goal was super well taken. He was so calm, and the shot that he put in to go low, far post, out of the keeper's reach was just. It was almost poetry.
I think what was great about it was a statement goal. It happened in the first 5 minutes, and he got through 2 defenders to find that space in the box,
right,
and get himself in front of the goalkeeper. Now, that really put a marker down of what we were intending to do going forward, which was we're going to try and keep beating our men. Seacoast kept trying to put 2-3 players on a player, and we consistently wriggle out of it with quick passes, spray the ball left and right, and despite the fact that there was a really close press from Seacoast, we kept finding those spaces, we kept getting past them, we kept taking on our man. And I think that goal from Ajagby, who took on 2 players to get in front of the goal, really kind of set that standard early on, that the rest of the team then followed. We didn't show any fear towards Seacoast tonight, which again is another thing that I think we've done in the past, because they are such a good side.
Well, they can come and when you get countered on, and if you're not up, in a game where you get countered on, it's a big problem. Like it can be a mental killer. But we weren't. It seemed like we weren't going to allow that to happen today. And you talked about him, and let's get into talking about Enzo, because like this is a special talent.
Yeah, he really is. Yeah, played the full 90 as well, and was chasing stuff down right towards the end.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
So, yeah, getting into talking about Enzo.
Yeah, just limitless amounts of energy. An absolute bomb down the right wing, especially linking up with Amoni Thomas. The two basically just running past each other all game. Amoni Thomas is also so dangerous in and around those areas. They've got great connection. Dovlo, though, what a ball he's got to stick into the box. I mean, that second goal that he sent over to Tata then, absolute, just perfect, under pressure. 35 yards, 40 yards to the back post, Tatavin, who, what a beautiful cushioned header to send it over the goal line. The entire stadium, absolutely silent. You can hear a pin drop as that ball arcs towards the right-hand post. But Dovlo just made so much happen down that side today, and he just didn't ever seem to run out of energy. He was still doing this in the 90th minute.
Yeah, I think that like that connection between Dovlo and Amoni Thomas. We heard a lot about Amoni Thomas. Like I talked about him on the Blazing Musket podcast in the preseason about how this is a kid who's young, untested, just barely like out of high school, right? And he's coming in to a USL 2 situation where we can say it here is like legitimately the toughest division in all
Oh, yeah.
of USL two. He's coming in here and he looks like he's been a pro for years.
Yeah.
He acts like it. He's calm under pressure. He doesn't seem to. He's kind of unflappable, and the way he almost. It seemed like total football out there from him today. It was like, not to kind of put a Ted Lasso feel onto it, but like it did feel like total football. It did feel like there he wasn't playing in a position.
Yeah.
He was overlapping with Enzo. He was. I think they have such a great connection out there. Amoni was inverting. He was sometimes almost a midfielder. It was wild to see, and I feel there are a lot bigger things coming for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's, one thing, apart from the fact he's apparently massive, just unflappable. You can see him down in the far corner with 2-3 men on him, and he's bouncing around him, and he's jinking left and jinking right, and sending him on dummies in order to get the space, in order to spray it out down the line or to the left or to the right. But then he's also being his man on the touch line in the attack to then send the ball into the center. He is all over the pitch, literally all over the pitch, from defending right next to our goal to attacking theirs. It's amazing that he's 18 years old. He is electric. I was just saying to Matt Wolf as we were watching him, he got to about the 60th minute, and there was a couple of mistakes he was doing. He was trying a little bit too much. And then all of a sudden, Seacoast break through. Looks like it's going to be a one-on-one. And Tony Thomas just makes the perfect tackle on the man that threw on goal. The tackle's so good that he managed to hit it back onto the attacker's leg and send it out for a goal kick to the green. And you're like, oh, wait a second, no, he's fine. And the thing is about him, he's so quick that even when he makes a mistake, he's got the time to recover that mistake, because he is 10% faster than anyone else around him.
Yeah, I this game to me today was a coming out party for this team.
Oh yeah,
it was a coming out party. I think that they put their stamp on this season right now, and they said we're here. We're not the same Vermont Green that you knew from the past. And these kids, it looked to us on the rail that these kids are bought into this. They saw that these fans here today, and it was not a sellout, but I mean
the ring was coming down sideways and it's 45 degrees outside.
Let me tell you, I can't tell you like how much to a player that seeing that in a USL 2 situation, like these guys are like, they're put their stamp on this season, and they're saying we're here and we're gonna stay here, and we're gonna show you what it means to be a Vermont Green player.
Oh, this puts us on top of the league, right?
Yeah, it puts us on top of the league.
I don't know what the other results were today, but I mean, at least Western Mass has drawn 1. Now, Seacoast have lost 2.
Lost 2.
Drawn 1, 1-1. It's
NEFC is going to be tough, but they've also lost 1 and won 1.
It's early days. Obviously, we're game 4 in. We've got a lot more to play, but we're really showing that this season it's in our hands, and we're not waiting for. I mean, how many times have we been waiting for like a lucky break from like an AC Connecticut beating a Seacoast or something?
Yeah.
And I think while that is always very welcome to see Sam McCann do one over on our greatest rivals, I think this year, touch wood, I think our destiny is in our hands, and we're not going to be hoping for those slip-ups. And in fact, we can actually do this on our own terms. This team has certainly shown that they can.
Yeah.
Again, early days, who knows? Maybe things will go pear-shaped. But if they play every team in the same manner that they played Seacoast tonight, I give us the cup now.
I think it's gonna mean that the boys have to bring it down there.
Mm-hmm.
I've almost lost my voice, so my job is done. I can't get any higher pitch than this. It is what it is. My kids will be happy about that, but What a day! What a
Yeah.
day in the pouring rain
And on Union Night as well.
and on Union
You know,
Night.
we've
So
never lost on Union Night.
that's a thing.
We've got to play Seacoast every time on Union Night.
We should absolutely should. And you know what? No more losing to this team.
No.
No more losing to this team. And you know we have games coming up. We have Jubistar coming up,
Yeah, that's Monday.
which is always a fun game. It's always fun to get out and watch a local club play against our big club.
We've stacked, yeah, and it's for a good cause.
Really,
we've stacked the friendlies and the women's games at the beginning of the season this year, and then
Yeah.
it seems we're down to business really after next weekend for just this USL 2 on the way. I have heard that if we do win our division, we will be getting playoffs at Virtue Field.
That would be wonderful.
And then, you know, maybe, who knows, if we get through the playoffs, and maybe we'll stay here for the final parts of the championship as well.
Hey, you know, let's lift that division. Let's lift that league.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's get a trophy. We are, you know, no strangers to trophies now here in
Right,
Vermont,
right.
as Rob Dow showed us today. So I'm excited to see what happens, and you know, from here, Tom and I are gonna try and do these post match podcasts, and we'll do some reactions. We'll have some fun with it, and you know, until then, let's just up the green.
4-0.
4-0.
All right. Let me go home and watch 1,000